After leaving the hub, you'll enter my level. This is Daniel speaking. And you'll want to jump over the barrier and then cross over the wooden plank over the instant quicksand. I call it instant because it will instantly kill you. Upon exiting, you'll find your first cog out of 3. You'll want to collect this after you jump up on these pillars. If I can do that now, give me a second. You want to go up and over, like so. Okay, and then you're going to want to go through this wall by destroying it. You can knock it down like I've done, or use the grapnel, it's your choice. After that, you'll want to go into the building over here, and it's going to be very dark, so you're going to want to use your flashlight. I can't find the entrance, there it is. And you're going to have to crouch in to enter, and you'll want to go to the second to last box closest to the exit, and then you'll jump up here and exit out. Turn your flashlight off because it will be annoying if you don't. And then you're going to want to go over to the fire pit, and this will have one of the 10 collectibles. I'm going to make them books, but for right now they're still gold panels. Then you'll cross over this to get to the other side. The rest of the collectibles are hidden within these boxes scattered across the map. And you'll be able to just run into them or use the grapnel to move them, and you'll find the collectibles there. You'll then want to go over to this pond or the oasis, and you'll find the third and final cog here. The gate should now be opened. You'll want to exit the oasis and travel over to the final quicksand pit. This is the only quicksand pit that will not instantly kill you. If you fall in, you'll gradually lose health by 10 points per tick. And then cross these stepping stones by jumping, but it's easy jump puzzle. And then once you cross this, you'll be at the gate, which is right over there, if I don't fall in. And jump over, and the gate will open, and you'll be able to walk up the mountain.
Hi, my name's Kyle. This is my portion of the level. I will be god moding to it, because that feature is so awesome. I don't have to go through the entirety of the level just to get there. I am, I believe, 2 levels in. I'm 2 full levels in. I might be, no, actually no, I'm 1 level in, if I can speak today. Okay, so the player comes in here, they're given their objectives. They cannot get through this area, so then they're prompted to look for other sources of entry. They see the sign, they come read it. Eerie message, but it releases the door. So the player will come down here and be tasked with getting over this blocky area. These 2 things didn't have colliders on them, so the player would be able to walk through them before, but I put the colliders on. Store closes. The task gives the player the task of doing this block puzzle. I'm very much about creating puzzles that the player has to use their brain, because when they pass by this block doesn't exist. So the store locks, and then normally the player would be like, oh, what's going on? And then they have to come look for this one, and they would push this, and then be like, oh, it's not open yet. So I like the idea of having to make them actually use their brain and think. I'm not about hand-holding, because I think that that's absolutely terrible. It's kind of ruining games for me personally. So I like to build games that I would like to play. So this is the death room. These guns shoot super, super, super fast. I will show you. Boop, dead. So you're sent back to the beginning of this room. Not too far walk. So the player has to crouch, like I showed you, under this. Again, the whole using the brain thing. The player comes to this fountain and is given this message. Once the correct item enters, the path will be revealed. They see this area which is a steep drop into a rocky pit, which will kill the player. And it's alluded that the player has to put these items down into the water, but in fact the player has to jump into the water. Those hourglasses up there have colliders on them that they didn't have before, which was kind of annoying because you just walked through them and they kind of didn't exist, which is kind of not how it should be. So we fixed that. I know where all these triggers are. This is another puzzle that the player has to do because, somewhat backtrack, but also like think out of the box, because you enter here and drop down, and immediately to your left you see this long pathway. So the player doesn't see this trigger back here. And over here, this thing is right here. The trigger is in this room, which cannot be accessed unless you crouch. And we gave a little hint by adding an item to show the player, like, oh hey, there's something down there. Maybe I should go check it out. So you come over here, you ascend this puzzle. This door is one of the triggers. The door is closed, and this platform right here is also another trigger. They're activated by the trigger. It doesn't exist. It like moves. This all is textured, as you can see. I'm going to be adding a light source of some kind so that you can see the textures. Maybe I'll add like a torch or something. But as of right now, it is unlit. So here is the elevator. Oh, there's an item. Let's get that. Oh, elevator one. Hear the elevator. It's sound. Oh, no. I failed. So when you get to the top, it's a little bit of a graphical glitch. When you get to the top, you are met with a. Let's do this right now. That bug has been there for a bit. We're trying to figure out what it is. We thought it was a mesh collider problem because there's regular box colliders and mesh colliders on the elevator, but apparently it still happens. That will be fixed. So the player does this jump puzzle and comes up here, and then it's the end of the level.
This is the beginning of Matt's level. And we will try to beat it without any lag or any issue. The first step is to get through this puzzle of rusted old beat down cars. Then you turn left and go up this jumping puzzle. Player can then drop down into this building. There are 2 debris blocks and some collectibles within here. You have to push open this door. Yes, it's a very heavy door. Didn't used to be that heavy. Apparently it got changed. Come back in here. There's some cash. Pick up a block. Place it on the first pressure pad. It is an important pad, as you can see through all the sparkle particle effects. Technically you'll have to go back and get the other block. Right now there's a cheater's block which will not be here in gold. You go in here. You solve this puzzle. It's probably the easiest of all the puzzles to solve. You just push the blocks. This one doesn't slide like the rest. You actually have to push it all the way to the wall. And you solve the jumping puzzle. You go over here. And you activate the console to lower the door. That got weirdly changed. You take this piece of debris or block, if you can. You have another pad over here you have to place the block on. You can go over here, or you used to be able to go over here. There it is. It's another debris. Jump over here. There's another collectible over there you can pick up. It's poisonous water. I wouldn't go in there. It'll kill you. You can't get back out. Take this block here and you'll place it on that pad. These three with the particle effects are for the bridge. Once again, maximum effort. It's important, always important. You gotta solve the puzzles here. There are helpful colored pads on the ground so you can figure out which block goes where. In case you're not watching my video, there are 2 puzzles in here. That's how you solve that one. You go that way and pick up that. You go over here to pick up this. The last block missing for this puzzle is this one. Apparently my complete step for 4 didn't trigger. Looking at the objectives list, so. And you pick up this, which is the featured item. It is a power core for the bridge, which at the moment is not a collectible. It will be in gold. You go into this building here to pick up this block. And it looks like my solve the push puzzles aren't working either. Somewhere got lost in translation. I'm gonna have to find a way to make this block not fall due to lag. Our system's lagging. You take this piece of debris anyway and you place it on the correct pressure pad to open the door into the watch tower, which the correct pad is this red one, which opens this door over here. From there the player goes up through the watchtower and press E at this control station to open up the bridge, and then you walk in to the other level.
Hello and welcome to the start of my level. This will pick off where the last level leaves off when you get off the force field bridge. The objective in this level is to not only infiltrate the warehouse, but to continue going through new rooms and eventually making your way to the AI facility. When the player first comes in, they'll get a restore the windmill objective, and if they get close enough to the windmill, they'll get a message volume saying that they can use their grab-null to restore it. So the player will use their grab-null to pick up the pivot, and then simply walk it up to the head of the stalk. Once this is done, the windmill will reattach, it will start spinning and lift up, showing that power has been restored. So the player will then come over and they can access the doors. However, if the player tries to open the doors prior to restoring the power, they'll get a message volume saying that they have to restore the power somehow. In this area, the players will have several collectibles that they can get, as well as choosing whether they can go forward, to the right, or to the left. If the players choose to come over here and go forward, and then to the right, they'll come into this room, and they'll get a create a bridge objective, and they see that there is a gaping hole that they cannot cross alone. So the player will have to use their grapnel to pick up one of the spare boxes and drop it into the hole to create a stepping stone for them to cross. Once the player has successfully crossed the gap, there will be several collectibles that they can get within the shelves, and then there's even a healing item over here in the back corner in case the player tried to engage the turrets and got damaged. So now the player can head back. Now the player is left with the choice of whether they want to go forward or to the left. If the players go forward, they'll have to use the available crates as cover to block themselves from the turrets, and then they can use the available debris to destroy the turrets and clear the path forward. But if the players instead choose to come over here to the left, they'll expose to this new room which has fire in it and some debris. Now, fire has a damage volume set very high, so it'll kill you very quickly, so the players either have to scale over to the debris or come behind it. The players can then see that there is a broken part of the wall, so they can come up to it and it'll get an objective to destroy it, and a message volume saying they might be able to destroy it if they use something strong enough. So the player will come over here and they can pick up these explosives and use the and then throw them into the damaged area of the wall. Then the player has access to a new vantage point to destroy the turrets, which is less dangerous than coming at them from straight on. So the player will be able to come over and destroy both the turrets effectively without putting themselves at too much risk. And then as the player comes up the next set of stairs, they'll get a message volume that says they have to enter the, and then once they get farther in, they'll realize that they've been trapped in the room and that they have to collect the passcodes to be able to progress forward. Players have to search through the room and find both the passcodes, and then enter them in the main computer at the front of the room. Now that the player has both the passcodes, they simply have to go back to the front of the room. It'll stop the timer and free them from the room. So they go up to the main computer and interact with it, and the doors open and the timer is stopped. If they didn't stop the timer in time, this room is rigged to blow with all the explosives, which will cause the player to get reset at the nearest checkpoint. When the player comes out, they'll get a view the photo objective, so they can come over here and look at the photo. The point of the photo is an aerial shot, which will show the player the rock's correct positions from an aerial view to help them figure out that the rocks are not in their correct positions. And then they'll get a reposition rocks objective, and the players will get a message volume saying that I can use my grapnel to move the rocks around. So using the picture, the player can help guide them to where the rocks are supposed to be. Also help the player, there are indentations in the ground where the rock's correct positions are. So the player can use those to help them figure out where the rock's correct positions are and restore them there. Once the player has been able to restore all the rocks to their correct positions, the hidden door will open and the player will be able to continue on to the next room. When the player comes into this room, they'll get a maneuver the cube objective. So what the players will have to do is they'll have to use their grapnel to pick up the cube on the other side of the glass wall and direct it over to the pressure plate and weigh it down. So the player will just have to use their grapnel to carry the cube around all of the obstacles in the room. So once the player has gotten the cube over and weighed down the pressure plate, the hidden wall will be revealed once again, and the player can come in, and they'll get the final objective to use the elevator. So the player just comes over here and interacts with the button, and that takes them down to the next level.
Level of Team Ivy Scraps. My name is Scott Stelmach, and I am bringing you the AI Containment Facility. Welcome. Alright, so the player comes in, they've got some force field crates that they can toss around here and see through, and the little AI core to greet them. Come into the first room, and your passage forward is blocked. Alright, and as we look around, we can kind of see a pattern here. We've got green core, green power station, yellow core, yellow power station, orange power station, no power core. Okay. Well, so we're missing something. Let's search this room. Alright, and now we're locked in, actually. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, so we're gonna pick up the blue core because we need the blue core for the blue station over here. There we go. And we'll come and we'll grab the orange core because we need it for the other one. and you'll be able to pick up these collectibles as you go. Get that in there, alright. Okay, so we come into here, and oh, that doesn't look good. We're taking damage. Alright. Come into here, and well, this is supposed to this room is supposed to help us with other rooms. So let's activate this and see what happens. More force field barrels to play with. Oh, well, look at that. The gas is gone, and hey, look at that. It's a whale. Looks like he's swimming. Hi, whale. Alright. And we'll hit the switch. Come down to level 2. Alright, so we got more force field barriers in our way. Seems to be a common theme. And we'll come into here, and this panel looks promising, so we'll activate it. Force field barrier's gone. Alright, we'll step into the next room. Huh. Well, all the other force field barriers were solid, so maybe I could just skip this. Nope. Alright, well, that's unfortunate, and that took damage. Alright. So that's pretty close to instant death right there. Alright, so we'll jump across this. Yeah, got it in the first try. Alright, we'll hit the console, and we'll jump back across. Oh, no, we'll fail. Alright, we're going to take the short and easy route and just die. Alright, so second force field barrier is down. Alright, so this place is on high alert, and we cannot get through this force field barrier here to get to the console. So, come down here, and we remember this pattern from before, so we'll pick up the green core, put it into the green slot, and the rest of them are all in, so we're good. We got some console effects going on here, and we'll go hit that, and oh, all the force fields are gone. Alright, so we'll grab that pickup on our way and hit the console. Okay, we come down here and whoa, big guy. Alright. Knock out all these turrets, and don't need those guys getting in our way. Hop up this ramp because sliding. Alright, we'll deactivate that one. We'll run across here. Deactivate that one. Alright, and we'll come up to here. Deactivate that one. Alright, well, let's get our AI core. What? Force fields. Ah, more force fields? Okay, so we'll come down here, see these sparkling, and we'll activate this. All that work just to hit one button. Come back up. Alright, and get over here. Okay, well, there's a little AI core. You can see he's kind of the same thing as the big one, and oh, now they're all gone. Okay, and that is the end of the level. Thank you very much.